Breakups are often the symptom of problems in a relationship. My workbook series, The Knowledge, is focused on helping you change your life in 4 key areas: retaining the information that I teach, personal growth, improving your relationships, and of course, re-attracting your ex. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about the urgency of knowing your partner. So this is an important video for you guys.
Yes, it is.
Because this information is going to help you considerably in understanding all of your romantic relationships and making decisions that are going to affect you and the possibility of making it work with somebody or it falling apart.
Yeah, or making it fall apart.
And so Margaret has some excellent information here that's really going to make you think and evaluate relationships.
And you know, I don't think that we think of relationships in some of the depth that would be helpful. And where this becomes absolutely crucial is at making a decision to marry or at a breakup, and making a decision about whether or not you want to pursue this relationship or if you'd be better off looking elsewhere. So I'm going to start with an example. As I was talking with a very upset and distraught woman in the last couple of weeks, she shared that she had a whirlwind courtship. It was wild, it was fun, the guy had money, he entertained her family, he looked like he was just wonderful. But very shortly, she married him and found herself living with a man she really did not know well at all, and who certainly did not know her either. After talking with her for a while, I realized that she had no idea what it was she was supposed to do to know him, or any idea how she would go about learning those things about him. She was truly confused. Why do I need to know him all that well? We're going to have dinner together and we're going to work on having a nursery because we want to have children right away.
Wow.
Okay? And I realized with a jolt that she really had no idea what I was talking about.
I don't think that's kind of in the culture, at least in the United States, where people even think about these kind of things.
Right. I agree. As facts about him began to emerge, she became increasingly aware that she was in a not good position here, and that he was not who he had presented himself to be. And beware the rush always, because that's when somebody wants to marry you before you find out a whole lot about them.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. She was quite confused because she thought that things really could happen that way so quickly and turn out to be okay, because it was absolutely fairy tale. Okay? And it didn't occur to her that there was any danger in doing this within just like 2 months or 3. And truly didn't know what I was saying. Occasionally things can work out, but very, very rarely. Okay? So you don't want to make a mistake in this decision of who to be with. Because remember that the statistic says you will spend 20,000 average Wednesday nights with your spouse. Okay, that's a lot of Wednesday nights.
That's hump day.
Yes, you better really like this person. That might make a difference. I don't know if it would be the same as Tuesdays, would it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. If you see someone several times, even several times, okay, you will immediately begin to have some sense of what their moods are like.
Yes.
And how they view and approach the world. Okay? So even if you see somebody 5 times, you begin to get some sense of who they are, how they see the world, how they talk to you. Are they happy or sad? Are they anxious or calm? All those things will become evident even in, say, five times. And we were talking almost no times here. Do they see the world as okay and friendly? Do they greet each day with a frown? You know, are they always in a bad mood? Do they always look ridiculously happy? What's the deal here? Okay? If you see someone several times, then you will begin to have some idea what their interests are, and what kinds of things they enjoy doing. Do they have a reasonable schedule? Are they easy to plan with? Or are they always so super busy that they don't have time for themselves and their own well-being, or you? Okay, you don't want a businessman or a businesswoman who works practically 24/7. That's not going to work. Pay careful attention about how they treat other people while you're dating them.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
That is a big one, and it comes up in the literature all of the time. It says be especially careful of how they treat staff in a restaurant. If they're rude and obnoxious, be concerned. If they treat people with respect, that's kind of a good thing. Okay? With whom do they spend time? Do they have a whole bunch of friends? Do they have a few friends? Do they spend time with family? All those things you need to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the biggest investment you're going to make in your life.
Ever going to make. Right.
You got to look at these things. You don't want to just pick somebody because you like being with them and they're attractive.
Nope. You need to know all these things.
And you certainly want to do it before you have children with them.
Oh, God, yes.
Because that makes life a lot more challenging.
What do they do to relax? Do they drink fine scotch or bourbon? Do they do yoga? Do they go bungee jumping? Butterfly catching, perhaps? Or other hobbies and pastimes? What kinds of things do you do? Sometimes people are into things that are so extreme you can't even believe it.
Jellyfishing.
Jellyfishing with SpongeBob. And I read about another person not long ago who did cave diving.
Oh, wow.
You know, so there are all kinds of things people can be into. You need to know what they are. What do they like to eat? Do they need a little sleep or a lot of sleep? And pay attention to that, because that can tell you something about their mood. Do they like animals? Do they like sports? And what things are important to you? Some people couldn't be with someone who doesn't like animals. You don't want to find that out later. What's their favorite movie or book? What do they tell you about their growing up? And believe me, you need to know that.
That is absolutely essential.
Okay, if you're serious about this person, you're going to marry the way they grew up. Okay? And what do they say about their family and their growing up? Extremely important information. And you need to have time to talk with people about these things and to let them get to know you as well. Okay? They're also making a big investment here. And what if somebody's not interested in all those things about you? Run in the other direction.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Do they take emotions and feelings seriously? Beware of anybody who tells you too quickly how logical they are, because they're telling you, don't even look for an emotion from me. Okay?
Maybe they're out of touch with their emotions.
Probably, and they could well be avoidant. Not that avoidance can't work, but it's just meaningful if somebody spends time telling you how logical they are. Don't confuse me with any of that, you know, soft stuff. You need to talk about and get to know each other's hopes, values, convictions, beliefs, aspirations, goals, plans, all those things. If they got a genie in a bottle, what would their first 3 wishes be?
Yeah.
Okay? All those things you need to know.
If you don't look at these things and you just pick somebody because you have fun with them, you're putting yourself in a position to, you know, get dumped or be unhappy. Oh, yeah,
or all sorts of even worse things sometimes.
Yeah.
So here's a little...
There's a lot of questions for them to think about. People are like, what?
And here is the form I like to hand out to people I have just met. And I've been told I sound like I'm trying to do an assessment on somebody. No, but you really do need to get to know people. And that should feel good. You know the old song, Getting to Know You? Getting to know all about you? That's been used on an ad, I don't know if you saw it, about a criminal tracking you to figure out if he could rob you. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Yeah. Okay, whether we know it or not, most of us carry our family of origin with us throughout our life. I don't know if we carry them in a little bag somewhere in our heart, but they come with us, you can be very sure. The issues in one's adult life with friendships and relationships may reflect our family of origin issues as well as theirs. For example, an individual who sought attention from parents by attempting to be perfect may try to please a spouse by being perfect when the spouse didn't ask that at all. Okay?
Wow.
I've literally heard that. Well, I have to do this perfectly for my husband. I think it was not have any dust in the house. And I said, well, did your husband ever tell you that he was allergic to dust or he hated dust or that would make him upset? Well, no. Where did you get that idea? I bet you can guess already. From Mom. Okay? So there are all kinds of things like that we can bring into a marriage or a relationship. Another common one that I've heard is, my father was extremely handy. He could fix anything in the house. So what do you mean you're not handy? I bring many other strengths. Handy is not one of them. Okay? You've heard that one, Craig.
Yes, I have.
Yep. So there are all those kinds of expectations that we can put on people that may not even fit. Okay? So we have to ask questions. We have to talk all of the time.
You're going to overwhelm people, Margaret. They're going to have to act like adults. They don't want to do that.
I know, huh? But you know what? And this is a question that comes up all of the time. Is it worth being an adult? Now, this is a serious question. Is it any fun to be an adult? I've had many adolescents say to me, why do I want to grow up? I had one kid, I'll never forget her. She was very funny. Anyway, she said, why do I want to become a grown-up? She said, being a kid isn't so great. You have to go to school all the time. You're always getting in trouble with some adult for something. She said, and then when you grow up, you get to worry about the bills all the time. Well, she had a point. She had come from a family that had had to struggle on every level. And then people, I say, but you can make your own decisions. Well, that sounds good right away. Then they think about, so what if I make the wrong decision? Then you learn from it and you go on. But you make your own wrong decision and it's yours. And it's your experience to, try any way you want.
Yeah.
But the only reason to go through all this nonsense is to be an adult and have control over your life. And I remember I asked myself that when I was first a therapist. Why do people put themselves through this gut-wrenching process? And the answer is to have control over your life.
That sounds good.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's why. Now, what about their family of origin? Do you need to know about your partner's family of origin? You certainly do. And what do you need to know? Everything you possibly can. And again, if you're looking at a breakup, this is extremely important information.
Yeah.
You will spend probably 2 major holidays a year with your spouse's family of origin and many more other occasions. Your children will have traits and qualities from this family. You really do need to know them, okay? Not only that, they will have more to do with the decision to marry you than you probably realize.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
It's huge, right? Remember, I did one not too long ago, I can repeat it if that would be helpful, called, Is Your Partner Free to Marry? Because some people aren't, and it's subtle. It's underground. You don't realize it's there.
You've packed in so much information in this video, I think their heads are going to explode, Margaret.
Okay.
You've got so many people are like, I got to do what? And this and that? Or wait, and who?
Well, okay, calm down. I'll be happy to repeat it. I'll be happy to repeat it. You will be this family's grandchild's parent. Okay? So don't think they're not taking a close look at you, too. I mean, if she marries him, then I'm going to have grandchildren who look like him. I hope I like him and how him looks. Okay? And I always think of, paying attention to your family of origin. If you're familiar with the Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet, if you recall the plot, each of them came from a family that was at war at the other. They were fighting over who was going to rule this little city-state in the 1500s in Italy. And they were called the Montagues and the Capulets. And one was a Montague and one was a Capulet. And that did not end happily, if you will recall. They ended up committing suicide because they couldn't be together.
Yeah.
All right? So I'm not kidding here. You really, really do want to know about your partner's family of origin.
Yeah.
And if you're one of the McCoys from Kentucky, you don't want to date a Hatfield from Virginia either, right? Those are rather extreme examples, and the other thing you got to remember is they're going to have some contact back and forth with your family.
Oh yeah.
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 And you really have to think about that too.
Yeah. I mean, I've looked at, family members of women that I dated and thought,
yeah, right.
I don't know this. This doesn't feel right to me.
And I could have a child who looks like this and talks like this. And
I was like, this feels uncomfortable.
Yeah. On a more emotional level, what does your partner say about his or her family? How does it feel to meet them? Are they friendly? Do they make you comfortable? Do you say, what interesting people, I'd really like to get to know them? Or where's the nearest exit? You have to watch all of your responses.
Yep.
Are they similar to other folks you know? Or would it be a whole new experience? You know, sometimes ads are wonderful examples of things. We all know the Progressive ad with Flo, right? And every once in a while they show a shot of Flo's family. That would be the extreme of who you didn't want to marry, okay? There's a current ad out now where one of them is doing a workout in slow motion.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Okay, and how separated and individuated from their family is your partner?
Yeah.
If their family says, do not marry her, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to make the decision for them? Are you going to be able to make your own decision? Are you confident enough and individuated enough to trust your own judgment when your family says no? Okay? So you really, really have to look at your partner's capacity to make decisions. And you start by looking at little things.
Yeah.
Does this person know what she wants to order for dinner? Because I had a gentleman who was very upset that his beloved could not make a decision to be with him. And I said, well, how is she at decision making overall? He said, terrible. I have to order her dinner. So, oh, you poor guy, you got trouble here. You got to ask a few more questions.
And the thing that, you got to remember and consider is that there's an overwhelming amount of questions here to think about.
Yep.
But regardless if you're thinking about them or not, these things are in the background playing out.
Always, always, always. We're trying to make you aware of them. Mm-hmm. Okay? And of course, you're going to make the best decision you can for yourself and your partner. Mm-hmm. Look long and hard at the decision making of the person you're dating. Okay, long and hard.
If it's somebody that you're looking for something serious and long term with.
Yep.
If it's somebody that you're really considering marrying and having kids with.
Then you really, really have to be serious and really do some investigating here.
Yeah, if you're just wanting to go out and have fun, then go out and have fun.
They used to joke about the guy coming in and the woman's father saying, "My good man, what are your intentions toward my daughter?" Yes.
And that guy was ever honest.
Yeah, right. But, families of origin are assessing you, you can be sure, because you could represent an enormous change in their family. If you marry this son or daughter, then you belong to us, to some extent.
Absolutely.
Forever. So, the other thing is, if you break up with somebody, and you need to make, for whatever reason, oftentimes the reason is something in the extended family, then you have to make a decision whether to pursue this family, whether to pursue this partner and try to get back with them, or if you think it's more wise to move on. And you want to look at all of this information that you have amassed to help you make your decision.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. Look at everything.
Yep.
It's like pieces of the puzzle.
Yep.
Put it together.
Yep. And remember, it's the biggest investment you will ever make, the most important decision you will ever make.
Yeah.
Don't feel anxious or anything, but, but look out for your own best interests. And you don't have to be nosy and say, excuse me, this is my assessment form that I want to talk with you about.
Although I do suspect it would help.
Yes, it would.
I used to do a joke in my act about relationship resumes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, with references.
Yeah, with references. Yeah, that's a good idea. But if you just listen and are tuned in to your partner, you will pick up information pretty quickly. And of course, all the time you're with your partner, you're trying to assess and think about what it would be like to live with that person. Mm-hmm. If this is way more questions than anybody can handle, I can write them out if that would be helpful.
Okay. What I can do is...
If that would
maybe,
be helpful, let us know.
Maybe put them on the bottom for people to review.
Okay.
Okay.
And remember, I always say, know someone for an entire year so that you know their anniversaries, what holidays are like for them and their family. If there are certain times of year when they get depressed, I've known many people to get hit with that one. I didn't know him for a full year, and I didn't know he got depressed every February until the 1st of May. All kinds of things like that. So take your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot to think about, and hopefully you can go and just kind of review the questions, sit down with them, and just think about them and how it reflects to maybe the last person you dated or other people you've dated in your life, and look at maybe you see some patterns,
right,
and some other things.
And if you're looking at self-growth, answer them for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that would be a very handy way to do it.
Absolutely.
What am I bringing from my family of origin forward with me into every place else I ever go?
So hopefully this video will get you to just expand the way you look at relationships, and their family and their history, and how that's directly going to impact your life.
It is.
Because it's going to.
It's going to.
Whether you are aware of it or not, it's going to impact you. So the more aware of it you are, the better prepared you'll be.
Yes.
So, of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
Yes, please feel free to sign up. I'd love to hear from you.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.